Welcome to BD Daily Tech News Podcast, your daily briefing on tech and innovation. It's 2026, February 18th, and today's theme is AI is learning new instruments, data centers are turning into GPU cities, and your router might be the most underestimated computer in your house.
My router already acts like a mysterious roommate. It works perfectly until I have a Zoom call. Then it vanishes emotionally. So yes, please, let's talk about the little plastic box of destiny.
First story. Google is adding music-focused generative AI features to Gemini, and The Verge reports Gemini is getting an AI music maker via DeepMind's audio model, Lyria 3. The key detail, beta access is rolling out in the Gemini app, and it can generate 30-second tracks from text and even from images and video without leaving the chatbot.
So the chat app that already writes my emails can now drop a 30-second banger. That's either productivity or the start of my phone becoming a full-time theater kid.
Simple version of the tech, think of it like autocomplete, but for sound. The model has learned patterns of rhythm, timbre, and structure from huge amounts of audio. Then it predicts what audio should come next to match your prompt, like lo-fi beat with warm synths or cinematic trailer sting. The new twist is multi-input. Using an image or a clip as reference can steer the vibe, tempo, or instrumentation.
I love that it's 30 seconds. That's the perfect length for a TikTok, a podcasting, or my attention span when I'm just checking one notification.
Why it matters for normal people. This lowers the barrier for decent background music in slides, small videos, classroom projects, and indie games. For creators, the big actionable point is rights and provenance. If you're using AI-generated audio commercially, you need to know the platform's licensing terms, whether outputs are indemnified, and whether the tool offers any do not train or attribution controls for reference media you upload.
Don't feed it your unreleased song and then act surprised if the universe gets inspired. Also, I'm begging people, if you generate a jingle, please don't make it the same 4 ukulele chords we all suffered through in 2016.
Practical checklist. 1. Keep prompts and project files so you can document how you made the audio. 2. Avoid uploading sensitive client video as reference unless you're confident about retention policies. 3. Test for similarity. If the output feels too close to a known track, don't use it. And 4. Use it where it's strongest. Quick drafts, mood exploration, and placeholder music while you commission or record the final.
So it's like having a super fast intern who can hum 10,000 options, but you still have to be the adult in the room. I hate it. I need it. Continue.
Story 2. Bloomberg reports Meta plans to deploy millions of Nvidia processors. The framing is that it's a major shift away from the traditional x86 and Intel-centered world. And it's partly about securing supply in a market where everyone wants the same AI hardware at the same time.
Millions is such a wild word. That's not a server room. That's a GPU nation state. Do they get their own flag? Their own weather system?
Simple version, training and running modern AI is like moving from cooking on a stove to running a commercial kitchen. CPUs are great generalists, but GPUs are like thousands of tiny chefs chopping in parallel. If Meta can reliably get and operate that many accelerators, it can ship more AI features, serve more users at lower latency, and keep more workloads in-house instead of renting capacity.
Okay, but for me, the civilian, does this mean my apps get smarter? Or does it mean my apps get better at guessing I'm thinking about buying a blender before I even admit it to myself?
Both are possible, so here's the actionable lens. Watch for 3 user-facing outcomes. 1. More on-device-like experiences in the cloud. Faster image and video generation, better translation, better search inside apps. 2. More aggressive ranking and recommendation models, because more compute lets you run more complex models more often. 3. More AI agents inside products, which means more automation and also more chances for weird errors if guardrails aren't tight.
So, smoother features, stronger feeds, and potentially a robot intern inside every app. I would like to pre-file my complaint about the robot intern scheduling my dentist appointment at 6 a.m.
One more practical point, millions of processors also implies massive power, cooling, and networking constraints. That's why we keep seeing AI strategy tied to infrastructure strategy. For developers and IT folks listening, expect continued pressure on GPU availability and plan for hybrid approaches, smaller models, batching, caching, and using the right model for the job instead of defaulting to the biggest one.
Let's go back to my favorite haunted appliance. What's happening with the TP-Link router ban situation?
Story 3. A report says a federal ban on TP-Link routers was shelved, but Texas is continuing to fight. The detail that jumped out: TP-Link devices, often rebadged, are supplied to U.S. customers by more than 300 ISPs, which is why this is a big deal. The concern traces back to security researchers, including at Microsoft, finding a China-based hacking group using vulnerabilities in these devices for cyber attacks in the U.S.
So the most common router brand is basically the most common front door, and we're shocked criminals try the front door first. Incredible. Humanity remains consistent.
Simple version of the tech, routers are tiny computers that route traffic, but they also often run web admin panels, remote management services, and outdated components. If there's a vulnerability, say in the web interface, attackers can take control, add the router to a botnet, spy on traffic metadata, or use it as a launchpad to probe other devices on your network.
This is where I confess. I have absolutely left the default admin password on a router in my past. Not proud. I have grown. I now use a password manager like an adult who fears consequences.
Why it matters: if a device is distributed by hundreds of ISPs, the attack surface isn't niche, it's national scale. Even if a federal ban is shelved, the risk conversation doesn't go away, and state-level actions can create a patchwork of rules. For households, the win is simple. You can reduce your risk today without waiting for politics.
Give me the do this tonight list, like the kind of list that takes less time than arguing about what to watch.
Here it is. 1. Update router firmware and turn on auto updates if available. 2. Change the admin password and disable remote administration from the internet. 3. Use WPA3 if your device is supported. Otherwise, WPA2 AES, no legacy modes. 4. Create a guest network or IoT network for smart TVs, cameras, and gadgets. 5. If your ISP provided the router, ask whether they push security updates automatically and what model you have.
I love that the solution is mostly stop letting your toaster live on the same network as your laptop. Separate the weird little guys. Let them have their own corner.
Quick recap for 2026, February 18th. Gemini is adding music generation with DeepMind's Lyria 3, making 30-second audio creation a built-in chatbot feature. Meta says it will deploy millions of Nvidia processors, signaling the next phase of AI infrastructure scale. And the TP-Link router ban may be shelved federally, but the security concerns remain, and your home network hygiene matters right now.
And if your router has a sticker password, consider that sticker a cry for help. Help it. Help yourself. Also, if you generate AI music today, please promise me you'll at least make it weird, in a tasteful way.
If you want more fast, practical tech context, subscribe and leave a review. And share this episode with someone who thinks firmware is a type of kitchenware. We'll be back tomorrow with the next briefing.
I'm the guest, and I'm officially requesting you do one security thing today. Update something, change one password, or split your Wi-Fi networks. Then reward yourself with 30 seconds of AI-generated victory music.